Objectives for today: order of operations with fractions. Example number 1. 1/2 plus 2/3 times 1/5 and then minus 1/4. Do what's in the middle first. Multiply 2/3 by 1/5. And when you do that, it's 2 times 1 and then 3 times 5. Now take a look at your denominators. You have a 2, a 15, and a 4. The multiples of 15 are 15, 30, 45, and 60. What's the lowest number that 4 is going to go into out of these 4 numbers? Will 4 go into 15? No. Will it go into 30? 4 won't go into 30. How about 45? Will 4 go into 45? No, it won't go into 45. It will go into 60 though. So out of those numbers there, 60 is going to be the lowest you can come up with. So put a 60 down in the denominator of each one and then figure out what you have to multiply by to get to that. What do I multiply 2 by to get 60? 30. So 1 times 30 is 30. What am I multiplying 15 by to get 60? Yeah, you're multiplying by 4, so it's 2 times 4, which is 8. And what do I multiply 4 by? Multiplying it by 15, so 1 times 15 is 15. Then go through and do what it says to do. 30 plus 8 is 38. And then you have to take away 15. Leaves you with 23 over 60. Example number 2. Start in the middle, keep your 2/3, and you'll have 3 over 8 in the middle, and then find your common denominator of 24. And once you find that common denominator of 24, you should have 16 over 24 minus 9 over 24 plus 21 over 24. So 16 minus 9 is 7, and then 7 plus 21 is going to give us 28 over 24, which can be simplified to 4 over, not 4, that should be 7 over 6, which is the same as 1 and 1/6 as a mixed number. Practice number 1. 5 over 4 minus 2/3 times 3/4 plus 1 over 8. We'll keep the 5 over 4 and take care of the middle to get 6 over 12 and then plus 1 over 8. I think it would be helpful if we reduced the 6 over 12 to 1/2 and then went back and did everything in terms of a denominator of 8. And if we do that, we should end up with 10 over 8 minus 4 over 8 plus 1 over 8. So that would be 6 over 8 plus 1 over 8. Answer should be 7 over 8. Practice number 2. 3 over 4 plus 7 over 2 times 1 over 3 minus 1 over 2. Let's keep the 3 over 4 and multiply 7/2 by 1/3 to get 7 over 6 and then minus 1/2. We can get a common denominator of 12 out of all of this. So that would be a 9 over 12, 14 over 12, and 6 over 12. If you add here, you'll get 23 over 12 minus 6 over 12. That would be 17 over 12 for an answer of 1 5/12. Example number 3. 1/2 times 3 over 4 plus 3/4 times 1 over 5. Order of operations says that you have to do multiplication from left to right before you do addition. So you must do this part first. Multiply to get 3 over 8. And then multiply on the other side to get 3 over 20. Now 8 and 20. We need a common denominator. What's the common denominator between 8 and 20? 40. Yeah, 40 is the common denominator, and we're multiplying 8 by 5 here, so 3 times 5 is 15, 20 times 2, 3 times 2 is 6. You should get 21 over 40 for that answer. Practice number 3. 7 over 8 times 1 over 2 plus 6 over 5 times 1 over 4. 7 over 8 times 1 over 2 is 7 over 16, and 6 over 5 times 1 over 4 is 6 over 20. Let's see here. 6 over 20 can be reduced. Let's see if that helps us out any for a common denominator. We have 3 over 10. I think the lowest we can get a denominator is 160, and if you do that, you're going to have a 70 over 160 on the left, and then you have to multiply by 16 here, so that gives you a 48. That's 118 over 160, but you can cut it in half to get 59 over 80. The lowest denominator should have been 80 to start with. 160 is not the lowest, it's a little higher, but still the answer comes out to be 180. Example number 5. 1/2 squared plus 3 over 4 times 1 over 6. Anytime you square a fraction, you multiply the top by itself, so in this case 1, and the bottom by itself. 2 times 2 is 4. And then do the multiplication over here to get 3 over 24. Now you can reduce that 3 over 24 to get 1 over 8, which would make your common denominator be 8. It doesn't change the second fraction, but this one becomes 2 over 8 when you multiply by 2. So you should get a final answer of 3 over 8. Just multiply this fraction by itself, then go over to the multiplication, and then add those two results, 3 over 8. Practice number 5. 3 over 4 squared plus 5 over 6 times 3 over 2. The solution for the practice, you should have 9 over 16 plus 15 over 12. You can't reduce 9 over 16, but let's see what happens when we reduce 15 over 12. That should be 5 over 4. And then we can use a common denominator of 16, multiplying by 4. So 29 over 16 is the same as 1 and 13 over 16.